All right. So, welcome to Decibel Peak's first ever live stream. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I'm a little nervous since, this is my first time actually broadcasting myself live out to the World Wide Web. So, I'm sure you'd be pretty nervous if you were in my shoes. So, what I actually did is I did a little rehearsal last night just to make sure that, I was prepared for this. And to be honest, I think it's just going to get better with time. Like, we're going to start today with our first live TV and film scoring workshop. So basically, what the objective of these live streams are is just going to, be to walk you guys through my process of composition, producing, recording, mixing, mastering, the whole shebang, the entire musical, production assembly line. And you're going to basically hear, what's going on through my mind. So I'm going to try to vocalize that as much as possible. So, you can hear my thoughts and, kind of see what my thought process is. And hopefully, you'll also be scoring along with me. So I invite you to open up your DAW right now. If you haven't done so, this is the first time in the entire week that you're going to be doing so, then great. We're going to be doing this every week. So maybe you can reserve 2 hours each week to just basically, make some music live with us. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be interactive. You guys can ask me questions in the chat, so I can answer them every now and then. Take a break, but basically, the challenge here for me, anyways, is going to be to compose something in 2 hours. Okay, and our reference is actually going to be a cue that I created. So I got some stock footage. I subscribed to this service. It's called ArtGrid. So I really like it. I highly recommend it if if you want to kind of start doing this on your own. But I'm going to basically show you the video. We're going to analyze the video first. We're going to make some observation, take some notes, and we're just going to try to compose a piece of music that fits this video cue that I will be making each week. So it'll be a different one each week. It could be a faux commercial, a faux trailer, just about anything. And I'll try to keep it fresh every week and current, try and base it on something maybe, relevant to what's going on in the world right now. But for today, it's going to be a tire commercial. So, like Bridgestone, Michelin, that kind of stuff. So you might pick up on that. Hopefully you do, because that's what I was going for. And if not, well, it doesn't matter. We're just practicing. We're all just trying to have, for at least 2 hours of the week, trying to have some fun. This is definitely for your music career. This is serious stuff, serious techniques I'm going to be showing you guys. But we're all human. I'm most likely going to make mistakes. There's a lot of pressure on me because I'm going to be, like I said, doing this live on the spot, and I'm going to try to keep my decisions I'm not going to try to be a perfectionist. I'm going to try to go as quick as possible, to fit it in 2 hours, because it's difficult, right, to make a track in 2 hours. So I'm going to try and just be decisive, pick something, go with it. And obviously the track might be okay, it might be great, it might be horrible at the end of this, it might not even be finished. But whatever happens at the end of these 2 hours, I hope that you'll learn something, and I hope that I learned something. And let's just get right into this. So I'm going to load up the video for you guys. Let's see over here. And we're just going to watch it a couple of times. I'm going to put it on once, and I'm not going to say anything. And then the second time, I'll make some observations. So as we're watching this, I just want you guys to try and hear music in your head. Like, try and actually start audiating. That's the verb that's actually used apparently to when you hear music in your head. It's called audiating. So try and audiate something when you're listening to this. Try, like, even if it's just a structure or just some general notes, just try and gather your thoughts, and as you're seeing these images, and try to make connections to what you see and what you hear. So we're getting right into this. All right. So that was the first viewing. I hope it looks somewhat like a tire commercial. I mean, like at the end there where there's a black screen. I mean, this is basically like, let's say you're working on a project, you know, and the client sends you like a very quick draft of the cue, you know, just to give you an idea of the storyline, you know, of the storyboard. So it might not, it's definitely not going to be the final edit. Like they're most likely going to be editing this again afterwards to like sync up with the music because, you know, it's kind of difficult to do that without, right? So this is basically that example. So at the end there, when you see the car, it just kind of zooms past and it just cuts. That's where, you know, like the banner would come up, you know, the you know, the logo, the branding of the tire company. Like if I ever get the chance, what I'll do at the end of each of these live streams is, you know, during the week before the next one is I'll actually finish this. I'll try to sync it up to the music and I'll post the final version of this with the revised video edit and the playlist that we have called Decibel Peak Studio. I'll be leaving a link to it from now on in the description box. So you guys can kind of see like the other projects I've done in this same light, you know, with footage that I've not that I've created, but that I've edited and put together into these kinds of like, you know, fake or faux commercials and trailers to practice with. So so that's always good to check out if you guys want to see what we do here at Decibel Peak. But now we're going to listen to it again, and I'm just going to make some observations. So I hope you guys took some notes. You know, this is the first live stream, so I wasn't expecting many people to show up. So, but if ever somebody does show up, you know, just, you know, leave something in the chat. You know, let us know what you're thinking, what you think about this. What, you know, some adjectives that you would describe what you're thinking of in regards to instrumentation, like what you would do, what genre are we combining two different genres together? You know, is it going to be have strings in it? Is it going to be more like contemporary with like synths, you know, electronic? Just kind of like share your thoughts with us because, you know, especially if you're doing this live with us, this is just a good exercise to, you know, put some things down on paper and actually get some work done. So here are my thoughts. Here are my notes on this. Obviously, I created it, so it's a little bit easier, but bear with me. So this, I'm going to stop right here because this is the first cut. This is the first thing we see. So, you know, psychologically, like, you know, this is already like setting the tone for the rest of the clip. So right over here, we got two tires. So first thing you want to put into the person's mind is that this is about tires. And the vehicle, you know, looks like a Formula One racing car. You know, it could be like also a sports car. It could be a Lamborghini. It's kind of obscure. We can't really tell 100%. I mean, these kind of look like rocket propellers over here. So I don't know. It could be some sort of Batmobile or something. You don't know. Kind of, it does look like the Batmobile a little bit. The one from the Dark Knight series. So, you know, could be anything. But pay attention to the colors too. It's either sunset or it's dusk. And, you know, so it's kind of like mellow, a little bit dramatic, you know. So we're continuing with this. There you go. I'm just going to tell you guys the sun is definitely rising. So as you can tell, like there's a progression in the video where it starts, it's dark, and then the end of the video, it's like, you know, midday. So that's a progression to keep in mind too, from like mellow to brighter. That's something that I'm going to keep in mind as I'm composing this track. And right over here, we have the introduction of our first character, which is the driver. Okay. And, you know, here we have a cut. So like here, he's basically, you know, like this is basically him coming into work, you know, practicing, you know, getting there early so he can practice early in the morning, you know, before everyone else gets there. So he has the track to himself. This is him out on the track. Okay. And if you didn't get it yet, this is basically him in the future. How far in the future, we don't know for sure. This is just basically him before race day. So it could be the next day, it could be in a week from now, but this is just him, you know, the facial expression. This is the first time you see his face, and he looks a little kind of like, you know, I did, you know, before starting this this live stream, like, am I ready for this? You know, it's the big day, you know, it's gonna start. So this is basically that facial expression. So it's a little bit more serious, but we're cutting back, you know, to him getting ready, you know, warming up. Look at that look in his eye. You know, it's coming. He's getting ready. He's putting his helmet on, getting his steering wheel placed. Here it is, and then boom. This is an important cut. This is literally halfway through the commercial, which is a pretty long commercial since it's a minute. But you know, let's just say we got a pretty big TV spot there. It's like a 1 minute commercial. But okay, so 30 minutes. But here, okay, this is where it starts. Okay, so I'm thinking already over here, there's going to be somewhat of a break in the music. So it's going to be like, there's going to be a section. Maybe it's going to be 8 bars or 16 bars, something like that. Okay. And then you're going to have this, you know, it's going to build up until this point. Then there's going to be a cut. And then here's where we start. And you know, I obviously had a little bit of time to think about this beforehand, so I'm gonna just tell you guys right now something that we're gonna work on if we have some time for this second section. The second section is gonna be kind of a different genre. So what we're actually gonna be doing today, and this is the theme of today's live stream, it's gonna be hybrid music. So music that combines 1 or 2 different genres together, like not necessarily at the same time, but I mean, this is stuff that even jazz musicians have been doing, you know, in the jazz tradition, like basically, you know, like you might have the A section is like a jazz swing, and then the B section, they switch to like Latin or something. So that's important to note because it's an actual historical thing. It wasn't called hybrid music back then, but nowadays in the, you know, the TV film licensing world, like there's actually quite a demand, you know, for like music that mixes different elements, you know, like orchestral hip hop, orchestral rock, you know, like this is going to be kind of an orchestral rock metal track. So the beginning I'm thinking is going to be, you know, more of a suspense, tension, you know, building up kind of a thing. Very minimalist, you know, just very light in the high end, no beat or anything, just, you know, just some ambiance. Okay. And over here, I think it's just going to get, I mean, personally, when I see this, I'm thinking like a racing video game, you know, like, you know, Forza, or even like if you're into like Nintendo stuff, I'm thinking like F-Zero, like, you know, like an arpeggiated, like sequenced kind of a synth thing with like an envelope filter, you know, so it kind of sounds like it's sweeping in, you know, like, don't know how to quite put it into words yet, but I'm sure my my ears and my hands are gonna create something that starts this second part of our scene, right? So, but what's important to note is it's not gonna be like, this isn't gonna be like a build up and then boom, the climax here. It's gonna be like a build up and then break, and then it's gonna start building up again, but in a different, like, it's a new day, it's a different kind of genre, different instruments, and it's just gonna start building up from here again. No beat yet, just a build up, maybe some electric guitars, a synth or something like that, and then there's gonna be a build up, and then right about when we get, and I'm gonna show you guys where, here we go. Like, look at the look on his face. He's just like ready to roll, like, at this point. So this is it. This is where it's the build up is gonna reach. And then boom, this is where the beat is gonna kind of drop. So the drums, you know, it's gonna go like, it's gonna get heavy over here. And but like it ends right there, the commercial, right? So it's like, but like you've most likely seen a commercial like that where it builds up and at the very end, like it just kind of like, it's, the beat drops and then it just very quickly starts fading after that. So that's gonna basically be this our structure. So very quickly, I just went over it. So a minimalist kind of like suspense, tension build up over here. Now we got a break, maybe 2 bars, 2 beats, whatever is gonna fit over here. And here it's gonna start a different thing, like metal rock, you know, it's gonna be building up here as well. You know, it's the big day, it's race day, and building up the tension. He's ready to roll. He's ready to like step on it, and then boom, right over here. And then we have our banner, and then like the rock, you know, like the drums, everything's together, and it fades out. So that's the plan for today. So I'm gonna actually keep this video open. I'm just gonna bring it down. I have two monitors running, so that's why sometimes I look up and down. So if ever we need to reference that again, it's gonna be there. So no worries about that. I just want to get started with the music as soon as possible because we don't have much time. That's one of the things, you know, the restrictions I'm gonna have to work with, and it's gonna be very difficult. Even my rehearsal yesterday, I didn't get very far after 2 hours because I was speaking a little bit too much. So I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna try and just roll and speak while I work. So if ever you have any questions, just stop me. And if ever I get too into the work and I stop, you know, engaging with you guys, you know, just leave me, chat with me, you know, just wake me up, ask me a question, and I'll get right back to you guys. But otherwise, this is just for your education. You can be doing this on the side with me, or you can just be watching and taking notes. This is just basically me opening the doors of Decibel Peak. This is what I'd be doing anyways. So I'm just, you know, opening the door, and you guys could walk right in and just kind of like hang out with me, see what I'm doing. And, you know, who knows, something interesting might happen that you just got to stick around to find out. But if you got to go, you got to go. So this is a plugin that I use often to start tracks nowadays because it, you know, it just really cool. It's called Arcade by Output. It's a subscription service. And it's basically like samples and loops, but what I like is this has a lot of like sound design, sound effects kind of stuff that I use. I don't use like the drum loops or, you know, like I'm not into that. I'm really into like if I'm going to use a loop or a sample, it's really just for like, you know, a vibe, just to like kind of like just splatter some paint on the canvas, just to like, you know, have a, you know, especially for, it's not even the one I wanted, but just for like, you know, this kind of stuff, this more sound design-esque kind of things. This is what I like working with. So I think there's a good one in here that I like working with. I think it was, there we go. So the reason I'm going with this one, guys, and it syncs to the tempo, it syncs to the key that you have your project set to, so it's really nice. It's really nice. This this plugin. So I'm gonna just do this, and I'm just gonna record. I'm just gonna go right in and do it. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Normally I record my parts, but literally if you're just gonna hold a note for like 8 bars, like you might as well just, you know, do that manually. There are times to cheat, even though it's not really cheating, but you're gonna see I actually perform my parts with my MIDI keyboard. I don't program things. I'm a musician. You know, I went to school for musical performance, been playing electric guitar since I was 13 years old. And yeah, man, you know, I played jazz, played just about every single genre of music there is. So I'm trying to, you know, a big thing in our value system here at Decibel Peak is we really value musicianship. So, you know, yeah, I hope that you guys are performing your parts and not just, you know, programming things in, you know, like be human, you know, add a little human element to your music. MIDI, it's cool because you could just quantize it, you know. But it's really important because of the dynamics, you know, like that you get in your track. You can't really replicate those. So you can always quantize everything, but like the dynamics, it's just you got to play your parts and just get good at it because it helps you work quicker and it makes your job more fun. Because hopefully, you know, if you want to do this for the rest of your life, you want it to be fun. So what I just did now is I duplicated, I made myself 4 copies of Arcade. That's because sometimes I might layer some of these to create like a even more of an intense vibe. Or not intense, but just like more layers, you know, to make it more my own, to customize it. But for now, we're just gonna do this and make a track stack. All right, and I'm pretty OCD, so I like to organize my things. So I hope you guys will bear with me while I do that. Okay, so basically, one is looming ambience, and this is where labeling things correctly helps, because down the line you never know what could happen. Might reset the instrument and you might have forgotten, you know. Think about in the future, if you switch computers and then you load this arcade up and it doesn't have like a patch in there automatically because you just reinstalled everything, I don't know. Now you know which one it is. It's looming ambience and the note's already there. So what I might do afterwards is I might actually bounce this in place, because look, let's say I started from here because it's meaty. You don't hear anything. You're always gonna have to start it from here. So as we work more into this, it's gonna be better for me to work with audio, especially with these long sustained kind of things. So see, for these long sustained kind of things, that's where you want to use like samples and loops. Like as long as it's not something too memorable and it's just something that you're gonna use almost like a pad, because it's basically like a pad. I could have also used a synth and done something similar like this. So, you know, arcade just saves me a bit of time, and it kind of is a hybrid of a synth and a sampler. So it's kind of like the CMI. If you guys know that synth, I use it often too, so you'll definitely see it. I'll point it out to you guys, but that's basically what this is like to me. It's like a computer, you know. It just has a bunch of like sounds in there, and you're just, anyways, I really like it. Say what you will. This is how I roll. So why did I choose this one? It's simple. I mean, it just kind of sounds like has that dreamy, like it makes me feel like we're going towards something. You know, the train, like the car. You know, it's like a steam. You know, it's driving. You know, like it's dreamy-esque, and it's hard to explain this, and like, I honestly like did not see things like this before, but recently and more I'm starting to just you know, like hear colors and see, you know, see sounds, if that makes sense. So like to me, maybe we could even play it. It just has, you know, like whatever that is, it kind of has that color. Here it's not so much though, see? But it's fine. But this kind of goes with the beginning. So I think this is going to be a good foundation. Okay, so these are just on standby if we need them. I'm actually going to color these. One of the things I usually do is I also get my master out here, my master bus. So it's there. I also work with submixes. I might end up setting those up too at some point there. Like right now, it's not necessary. And I guess you guys also realize that I don't really work with templates. What a shocker, right? Well, personally, I don't like using templates. I like starting things from scratch. It kind of gets me into the flow of things. If I work with a template, it's just like, I still have writer's block. It doesn't make a difference. So I'd rather just start moving some things around, you know, and see what happens. You know, so each track, you know, if you want to save time, yeah. But if I really wanted to save time and I knew like what I was going for, I would just load another one of my tracks up and just, you know, duplicate it and just delete the content. That's a template. So if I really wanted one, I would do that. But, you know, I like to keep things like, you know, organic and flowing. It's just my personal preference. But so we're basically going to be layering some stuff over this 8-bar loop. And I like working with either 8-bar loops, and I will never go lower than 4-bar loops. Even 4-bar loops, it tends to get a bit loopy. Like I try to compose things in 8-bar chunks because it's a little bit more of a phrase that way, and you'll have a little bit more of the sense. It's like a phrase. If you do too short, like 2-bar, you know, eventually you're just gonna copy that stuff all over your track, and it's just gonna sound like a big massive loop or drum machine. You know, like it's not gonna sound organic. So 8-bar loops, 16-bar loops, difficult to work with. Like for leads, if I'm like composing a melody that's gonna cover an entire 16-bar section, then we'll loop an entire 16-bar section. But just for the rhythm, you know, just for the foundation, 8 bars is fine. It's plenty, actually. I don't even know many people who compose in 8-bar phrases. So, you know, we might even do that for some things. Who knows? So next instrument I want to add, gosh. Let's see. Let's just go not think too much about it. I know I'm definitely like what I'm hearing is like some percussion, you know, but like some light top end percussion. Might actually add something in here. Another arcade. There's this cool library in arcade. And don't forget, guys, I'm just gonna do this as simple as possible because I could always go back, you know, even after the live stream and rework this track. Like, as long as we got something, as long like honestly, if after 2 hours you can draft something and have something pretty, you know, like that's like gives you a pretty good idea of what you wanted, but it's not exactly there. Well, you know, there you go. That's a hell of a lot better than not than not having gone through that. So sometimes just take 2 hours and just get it out of the way, finish something, and then you could always make a V2, you know, like let's say this is your draft, your demo. Well, then you're gonna make a V2 afterwards. It's called Instead of Hi-Hats. And these ones are good. Okay, I'm just gonna bring this down. This is still open. I just bring it down to my second monitor, so I make some space. That. I think that's a good one. Okay, that's a good ingredient there. I'm gonna record that. Remember, guys, just saving time. So there you go. Shortcut if you want to quantize without clicking the Q is like literally clicking Q on your keyboard. This is not velocity sensitive, but like I said, I have a really bad problem with OCD, so there you go. And even you see this thing right over here is bugging me that it's green. There you go. So this, I think I'm gonna do like another sound effects section. This is like, you know, I organize my things, like I start with my sound effects first, you know, sometimes. Like that's what we're gonna do today. Sometimes you might start with a beat or with a guitar. Like, doesn't matter how you start, right? It's just what matters is that you start. So I'm actually gonna delete this because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a multi-timbral instrument, which is the same thing. It's just gonna be with, you know, multiple MIDI tracks. So I'm gonna do like, let's say 4 parts. So it's one instrument. Instead of loading multiple different instances of that instrument, we're just gonna have one, which is gonna be East-West Composer Cloud, the Play engine, which I highly recommend also. It's a subscription-based thing. I think it's like $19.99 per month American, and it's got like everything, all their sample libraries, which are like, I did the calculation at some point. I think it would take you like 25 years of being on this subscription to pay the equivalent of purchasing all of their sample libraries. So there you go. It's worth it for now anyways, right? Because they might even add more instruments. So, you know, okay, so we're gonna make this a different color just to make it a little bit more here, the next shade of brown. And this is gonna be another sound effects section. God damn it. I'm gonna call it SFX. And we're gonna go in Storm Drum 2. I like this folder right here, sound design percussion. And I like these stutter makers. So what's cool about these is that when you let them go, you let the key go, like they're like kind of like cymbals and like just sounds. Like I'm gonna bring the volume down. What I always do, another thing to keep in mind, I always bring everything down 5 dB. I mix down because when I get to the end, it's better to have it quiet. I bring everything down, and then at the end, I just pull everything up with the mastering, and it's a lot easier to work that way. That's how I wish, you know, if I got a track from a client and I was mixing and mastering their track, that's how I wish it would come to me, but it never does. So, you know, but you're doing your own track, so like you're gonna make your job easier for yourself. So that's why they don't know, because they're not doing their own tracks. So okay, this should be fine. We'll mix it later. It's, you know, just relative for now. I mix relatively, you know, when I compose and produce, and we'll do the final mixing at the end. But for now, I'm just gonna show you guys what this sounds like. So I'm gonna close this up. Say stutter maker regular. Stutter maker reg. Okay, so listen to these sounds. It's just like, you know, like, you know what I mean? It's like these kinds of sounds where you can do like that. And I think all the, you know, the implication is that you'll manually cut it up. You know, you'll just do a sustained note and you'll find a way to make it sound like stuttery or whatever. But I don't know, these are just cool sounds. Even if you were gonna sustain them, they're like kind of like gongs and stuff. But it's just, three, four, blah, blah, blah. I just want to play with the high end for this part, you know? So let's listen to it like what we got so far. Let's just play along with it. Is that how that works? One. So keep note of that one. Honestly, one thing I find difficult about working with the East-West sample libraries like these ones is like you don't know where anything is. Like it's just like they're all spread out across the keys, and it's like good luck remembering where they are. So give me a second, guys. Just looking for something to show you. If you have a MIDI keyboard, okay, get some of these Post-its, and you just take one, and we're gonna put it on the ones that we like, okay? Just for this. I like that one. You think I'm joking? Like this is literally like my solution to this this dilemma that I've been having with East, because there's just no way. Like each instrument you load in Composer Cloud, like if it's strings, it's okay, it's organized by pitch. But if it's like samples like this that don't even have an, and even, you know what, even if they did have a name, it would just be a mess. So use Post-its on the keys, you know, just kind of like scan through them, see what's up, and yeah, you know, I hope that helps you guys. So let's just play along. Let's see what works. Let's just go through the entire range, and we're gonna see which sounds of this stutter maker we're gonna use. And it goes pretty low, so I kind of like that one. So sometimes they're organized in their logical way, I have to admit. Look, they're all a crash, you know, over here. So at least the Post-it will pinpoint certain areas on your keyboard that are of interest. So that's good. I don't want to get too funky either. Like, I want to keep it really minimal for this part. That's another thing. I might actually add a delay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a delay to this, so it's going to sound even more epic. Okay. Kind of like those. Kind of like China sounding. Might be better than the crash, actually. Okay. See, this is a much more you know, rational approach to just, you know, fiddling around with the keys and, you know, getting lucky. got a winner. You know what this actually sounded like to me? It sounded like if you guys know the video game Horizon Zero Dawn, like the soundtrack, kind of going with that vibe. And you know what? I don't think it's such a bad idea. You know, man, machine, you know, the car's like the machine. It's, you know, we're not gonna nail it, guys, in 2 hours. So might as well just appreciate what we've got going on, right? It's gonna work though. It's rare that music doesn't work, you know, with images, as long as it has the structure. The structure is the most important. Okay, you know what? I think we got enough. So I got like 4 kind of specific ones with, you know, whatever's around them that could potentially work. So now we're just gonna, like, you know, I want to reference the, you know, the video. So I'm just gonna loop this. And obviously, when we arrange this, I think I want to like end up either fading in that hi-hat sounding thing. You know, like first 4 bars without. You know, this is where it comes in. 2, 3, 4. Could start fading in here. You know. Okay. Not bad. So, one thing is like basically you want to like start building this up. Okay, like. And it's not from like, I don't work from like bottom up, I work from top to bottom. So like I build this thing up as, you know, big as I want it to get, and then I just decompose it. So I compose it and then I decompose it. So it's easier to work that way, because then you have your already like the climax. So these are 8 bars. You can even work with 4 bars, because I get the feeling like it's gonna be to be more specific, I think this one's actually gonna be have 4 bars. Actually, I might just leave that one there. I'm already arranging. Look at that, guys. So like that. That's gonna be our section. It's gonna be like a 4-bar intro plus this. So that's kind of like, and you have to approximate when you're working. Like, let's say that's what they gave you. Don't try, like, you know, like it doesn't have to fit exactly with the, you know, the tempo. Like don't get too specific with it. Just make the mute, like try to get as close as possible. If it sounds closer to a 16-bar section at the tempo that you have, do 16. If it sounds closer to an 8 plus a 4 or just an 8-bar section, like try to approximate. Don't bust your head, you know, calculating, you know, where it starts, where it finishes, dividing that, you know, like I used to do all these mathematical calculations to find the perfect BPM. Look, these editors, they're most of them are not editing to music anyway, so there is no secret beat. If you see stuff like in Pirates of the Caribbean where it's like you know, choreographed to the music, that's obviously done after the music. It's not the music that's doing that to the film. It's the film that's being edited to the music. Just so we're clear on that. I used to wonder, so that's why I'm letting you guys know. It was a pretty big relief when I found out. So the next thing, I think we're just gonna try and come up with a stutter maker regular part. And I don't know what else is going to be after that, but let's just start with this. I think I'm just gonna have this accent. Like sometimes just put things because you can always remove things afterwards. So sometimes just add stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every. You know, I might actually not do that like that. I'm gonna just do this. And you know what? I'm gonna make it. You see what I mean, guys? Just record it and play around with it afterwards. It's that simple. Oops. And you know, the velocity too. When I'm gonna, you know, I don't think we'll get to it today, so considering how much time we have, but you never know. Worst comes to worst, what we'll do is we'll this one I might make it a bit louder. Go 88 on this one. We might do a part 2. So next week we'll continue this. We'll do the second section. If you know, if we just get the first section done today, that's pretty cool. And then next week we'll finish the second section, and we'll get with, you know, I'll bring my guitar, you know, I'll record the guitar, show you how I do that with the bass, and you know, it'll be like a different thing next week. Every week's gonna be different. Okay, that's fine. Let's go for another layer. So it's too bassy, that one. I really want to stay in the high end. I really don't even want to touch the ground on this, to be honest. I want it to feel dreamy. Aha. Something like that. 2, 3, 4. Less is more sometimes, and you know what? Even if it's not exactly it, at least you get closer. You know, every time you put something down on paper, you get closer, because then it's like, oh, I don't like that. Then you'll know, but this is what I would do better. If you don't put anything down, you don't know how to make it better. So one more there. Sometimes, you know, we just copy paste. Whatever saves you time. Da, 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 on the downbeat. There. Okay. I might actually bring this down. This one lower. Don't really like this one, to be honest, but it doesn't matter. You know what? We'll just copy it. The exact same thing. I don't know. Sometimes it's better to just move on to, it's like, I don't want to add too many things here at the same time, because I feel like already just this. This is where maybe we might add a synth, like an arpeggiator kind of thing, or and you see, like, what I like about because I use Arturia V Collection, and if you don't know Arturia V Collection, like, this one is, look at how many instruments we got with this. But the thing is, if we were gonna load each one and audition each one of these instruments and trying to find the sound we're looking for, it's just like, you know, it'd take a while. But with Analog Lab 4, we just load all of them into one instrument, And using the library, we can actually search for stuff that we're looking for sounds that, you know, there you go. There's a, you know, resume of what you got going on with this. So, looking for a sequence. And I don't think so. What do you guys think? It's bassy. It's definitely not it. Honestly, the most time-consuming part of music production is finding the sounds you're looking for, especially when you're not exactly sure what it is you're looking for. I'm just trying to get also a sense of the harmony. It's to Nintendo. Not that much, you know? But I know I said F-Zero, but not the SNES, the one anyways. I'm talking about the one on GameCube. The music on that one was great. Something, you know, also what we could also do is there's other tags you can look for instruments. So we got types, we got styles. There we go. Maybe something a bit lo-fi, on the lo-fi side. Dreamy, how about dreamy? Sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, I'm not trying to scare you guys or anything. I'm just looking for some sounds. Maybe these are a little too lo-fi. Let's go for more minimal. Because I'm really looking for like an arpeggio, like not just sounds now. Like it's gonna be more of a. Maybe we could do something also more like on the synthwave side. To a beat. As. No. Well, also arpeggio, as I forget. It's not the key. It's like a sus chord, basically. It's a little too, like, I don't want to drive too much to 16th notes either. Like I said, guys, sometimes I might honestly spend 2 hours just searching for sounds, and it's something I'm trying not to do during these live streams because obviously, you know, unless you guys enjoy just hearing me, but you know, today's not so bad since there's nobody watching, so at least I could, you know, take my time. But my goal is gonna be to just not, you know, not spend the 2 hours searching for sounds. Okay, well, maybe dark. We'll go dark. Okay. Some of these I know already, so it's just like, nah. Like I said, for the beginning, it's really just gonna be ambient thing, you know? Now, I get the feeling that what I'm looking for is not going to be in here. So I'm going to get rid of it. And instead, I'm going to put the play engine back on. And if I need more tracks, I'll, you know, just copy what I do into a multi-timbral instrument. But for the time being, I think I'm going to go with like some strings or something, like some, because listen to it. Like some arpeggiated strings. So I do hear an arpeggio in there. It's just like it's strings, but it's gonna have to be like with a lot of reverb, like a lot of like just processed, you know, like processed strings. So I'm gonna try and do that on the spot. So we're gonna go, where are they? Hollywood strings. Oh. Let's go for the violins. Go usually short, tight, spiccato. And there also comes times where you have to just forget, you know, you just have to forget what you're actually doing, because you like when you're like trying too much to fit like to the image, sometimes I honestly feel like it gets me stuck, you know, like maybe this, if I just focus on the music, I'm just gonna get a lot better results just, you know, moving forward with this. So anyways, this wouldn't be fun if you guys wouldn't see me struggle. It's kind of the point. It just goes to show that even, you know, producers and composers that get placements and stuff and that can actually do pretty amazing things, you know, it's different when you're seeing them work, you know, like, you know, you're basically banging your head against the wall most of the time, and then maybe like 10 minutes out of the entire day you actually like get the stuff done. So, you know, that's the sad reality of I'm gonna delete this. Might use it later. Maybe it doesn't have to be that complicated. because like you see like, and it's okay to like try things and to realize like something's not working. And I think what's not working here is that it really has to be like minimal, and the fact that I'm adding these notes and it's too much, it's better to just add things like is, you know, sparse, like to create a sense of space here and not to get too specific. Sometimes we want to add more. We honestly, just this might do the trick. But there's just the problem now is that we need something to create some sort of upward motion. So already what we can do with these just for the time being. So we're going to go from -10. We're going to go at -10. That's going to be the climax for now. Sometimes just do some sketching, you know, just do some sketching. What's going on here? Just do some sketching so you just see what's actually going on. What you're thinking about is actually going to work. We're most likely going to have to go back and redo stuff at the end anyways, so better to just test it out now so we don't waste any more time. That's not such a bad idea. Okay. So this is how it starts. Delete these for now. Computer's getting a little bit hot. It's not horrible. It's always a good thing, you know, to compliment yourself every now and then. It's not horrible in my definition means, you know, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. It's not horrible, but we're getting there. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try and wrap this up a little bit more, and maybe like by doing that, it'll give me. And, you know, sometimes I don't like too much because I know there's going to be a second part to this. And, you know, that's the part where I'm going to actually be playing guitar and there's going to be drums. I'm going to be doing a lot more composing. Like this is just like when you're just sound designing and creating vibes, you know, you're going to feel like, you know, I don't want to do something too easy. I don't want to rely too much on these instruments, but just do it. Okay, so now we're going to get some risers. Just going to get some risers. And what I like about, there's a library in here. It's called Stitch. It actually tells you how big they are. So if you want to have like a really big 32 beat riser, which is the equivalent of 4 bars, if I'm not mistaken, you know, 32 divided by 4 is 8. So yeah, I'm not sure what I was trying to get at by that. That might actually be 8 bars, 32 beats. Yeah, it's 8 bars. So 16 beats would be 4 bars. So we're going to actually go for a 16 beat riser transition thing. This is going to basically take us from this part to this part, and we want to break over here, okay, this before the next section. So honestly, I think I'm almost certain that this live stream is just going to be about this section. So let's focus on this section and we'll continue the rest next week. So just going to grab a little drink and we're going to test some of these samples out. And honestly, if you're a composer producer, I highly encourage you to do live stream as well, because it's a pretty good challenge. You know, you see what you know, where you're lacking. Like just yesterday, you know, doing a private one by myself, like it was just like, you know, I realized right away like what it is that I had to do, you know, what I had to work on, you know, and I worked on it today. So you see, like that's not a problem today. But see, now I'm realizing different things, and I guess that's the point, is you'll just learn each time. You'll just learn each time something new about yourself. What's cool about this, you could actually see make it F sharp major, like our original one's in F sharp major. So This time we're gonna see, that's why it's difficult. So actually we're gonna use just these 4 bars here. I want something a little bit more aggressive though for this transition. So let's see if we got any in this one. This is a new one that just came out. Sounds a little bit too electro, you know. Not a huge fan. Okay, let's go with this. It's always better to do this so you can see the waveform. I'm looking just for a rise. You know, these are not risers. Or you have it at the end, but let's just see where this leads. Nah. Let's see. I don't like these ones that are like too give too much of a, you know, harmonic thing, because then it interferes. I don't know. I don't know. How about takeoff? Okay, that's a bit cooler because he sounds like a race car. And we might add like an impact. Why not? Let's just go for it. And I'll show you what I do with these. 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's gonna go like this. And while we're at it, gonna go ahead and bounce this in place. Is it time? Yeah, I guess let's do it. Might as well, because now see it gets to the point where it's kind of annoying. You know, at least for this one, so I can actually do it here. Okay. Let's do that. Let's go the OCD. Okay. And then we're gonna just leave it at that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bounce this in place. And you see, because this is just basically like my printer over here, this guy. I just turn it off. And whenever I have a riser, like see, and I just bounce it and I go like riser 1. That's that. So now we can actually lower the volume of this. Okay, I think like that. And, you know, obviously it's cutting off that part, but you know, we're gonna add some reverb and stuff, and I think I might actually create my first submix at this point. At the very least, I want to just show you guys some techniques, some mixing techniques. So yeah, this is all gonna go. It's very easy. I usually just use bus 32 going downwards. Sound effects. So let's call this sound effects 1, mix, and there you go. Got us our first sub mix. Make sure to do that so it shows up on in your track view. Sorry, this one's gonna be purple. Okay, put that down here. And the first thing I'm gonna do is gonna add, not even sure if it's selected, so I'm gonna add a reverb. Sometimes you really want to just hear what this stuff's gonna sound like. You can actually make a second sound effects mix if you want to separate certain things, which I think I will do. Let's go for a big wave. Start with this. Let's drown it a little bit. We're gonna add an impact through there, which I will do. Look for right now. That's exactly why you might want to add another one. So 31 is going to be sound effects too. Okay, and I usually bring my sub mixes down 5 dB as well. That's fine. Should actually be fine. Now let's just do this. Oh, best thing we can do is actually just look at it with the video, see if it makes any sense whatsoever. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So interesting. I might actually change that structure around because it's, I don't know, maybe it was just me, but let's just check that out again. Give us like a little 4-bar intro. 2, 3, 4. My bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just to get an approximation. See, something should happen there. That's when the hi-hat actually should come in. I don't think I'm going to do a fade in anymore. One, two. Yeah, well, it's close. You see, for this one, it's close. Because you see, like, it maybe go here, but this is just an extra bar. So I think it's good like this. I think it's a good structure, but I think this is just gonna, I'm gonna remove this. This sounds fine the way it is without it. And I think I'm just gonna bounce it for now. You could always just delete that. I know why, hold on. You gotta be careful sometimes, especially with your automations. There we go. So luckily for me, not many people showed up. It's all right. I'm just getting the hang of this, guys. If you weren't able to make it, this is gonna be up on the channel anyway, so you're gonna get to see, you know. And you know, hopefully in maybe 10 live streams from now, I'll be really something else. You know, it'll be something else. Get rid of this. Don't like it. I just really want to make this really good for you guys. So also, like, you know, if you see this afterwards, leave me some comments, some constructive criticism, what you guys want to see more of. You know, I'm like really just doing this for you guys. I could just be doing this on my own and not breaking such a sweat. So I'm doing this for you guys, and I want to teach you what you want. Like, that's why I do tutorials, but the live stream is just basically also like an open Q&A, so you can just come and ask me stuff. And I could actually just take a break and just show you something. And maybe, you know, you guys could inspire me. Could inspire each other. Sometimes less is more, you know. This might just be it. Even if we just succeeded at this, you know, just putting two things together, I mean, that's still a composition. But I definitely do want to add that impact. So let's do it. There's actually a bunch of actually they call these lines, not sample packs or whatever, lines, and each one has a pack as packs. Impact theory, you know, right at the end there. I think, oops. Light. The thing is, yeah, I want it to be dark, you know? Something needs to lead us to that point. That's what I'm saying. So we're gonna find that thing. It's a riser. It's definitely a riser. That's why, like, one of the things that was missing before, you know, like, let's say last year, in my last year's compositions and productions, and I was still finding a way to make it work, but it was risers and these kinds of sounds. That's why I really like arcade, because it really does, you know, really has some stuff. You know, there are other libraries, you know, other plugins you can use. Like there's Rise and Fall or Rise and Hit. I forget what it's called from Native Instruments, but it's pretty expensive. So this is better. Definitely need a riser in there. Okay, let's look for one that actually works. It's not gonna be in here. That's all I know. That is all I know. But yeah, you know, let's just check on the time. Yeah, so we got about well, it's not so bad. We still got about 40-ish minutes. So, you know, I hope I'm not boring you guys. Not that there's anybody out there to bore, but you know. I'm just a very considerate person. But in all honesty, like if you guys are afraid to do stuff like this, like it's not that bad. Like YouTube videos used to be difficult for me, and I feel like I'm getting a bit better. So, you know, at some point, it's just about like being able to give something. You know, you're giving up your time. I'm giving up my time, and I'm sharing, not giving it up, but I'm sharing it with you guys. And it's same thing if you were gonna do it for someone else. You're just sharing your time, and sometimes it's just, you know, it's nice to see how others work, and it's just to hang out, to, you know, to just walk into Decibel Peak and be like, oh, this is how he does his stuff. Oh, you know, he's not as good as he's, you know, hyped up to be. Just kidding. But you know, like what I mean. It's just it's good to put yourself out there, guys. I encourage everybody to just put themselves out there because it really doesn't make a difference. Like if it's not good enough yet, nobody's gonna watch you. And when it actually is good enough, automatically there will be people watching you. So, your first couple of YouTube videos most likely suck, but nobody's ever gonna see those. Maybe 10 people are gonna see it. And then you'll just make better ones and everyone's gonna see those. So it's once you reach that barrier, you'll be fine. I'm just trying to reach that barrier with live streams. But it's all about making that improvisational element of composition more active, more activated. And you know what, guys? Like my biggest weakness as a musician was improvisation. Still is. I used to fear going to jam sessions and stuff. And, I started going more and more. Still afraid. I'm much better off in my little bubble, just having all the time in the world to just think about it and planning every single move. And that's why it sounds so good, But in reality, if you had just 2 hours to do something and everyone was watching you over your shoulders, and the pressure is on, what can you do? Well, this is what this is about. So, and honestly, like sometimes I get these comments from you guys and it warms my heart up. Like it really does. Like I just saw a few comments today and it's just like, wow, people actually like what I do. That's really nice. And I'm really happy to be able to provide something that is of value to you guys. And, you can't blame somebody who is trying to do. There will always be haters, but at the end of the day, everybody who's creating something is creating it for somebody. So you really cannot hate a person like that. But, some people will, and that's no problem. We're not 4 beat, that's 1 bar. 8 beat is, like even a 2 bar thing could work, but that's interesting. I actually don't know why I didn't favorite this one. This one's cool. So we're gonna just loop this guy over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. A little too soon, but actually one thing is because I didn't I didn't saturate it enough reverb. Did not saturate it enough reverb. Do you believe that, guys? And you know why? Because it's not sending to the right bus. It's instrument 3. What did I do? That's why. No, okay, well that's why it's supposed to go to bus 32. That's why. That's why. Okay. See, now we got a lot more stuff. I like that. That's like waking up, I like that. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go for it. 1, 2. I forgot which note it was. It's the next one up. Ha. Q. Gonna make this bigger. We're gonna bounce it in place. Bring down the volume because it's like too loud. -10. Already was there, wasn't it? Okay, doesn't matter. Bounce in place. It's gonna be riser 1. It's just to get close, we're getting closer. That's what counts, with each thing we do, we get closer. So that's what I really care about is that getting closer part. And see, inherited the bus, so that's good. Oh wait, it's in the wrong place. Okay, now it's not loud enough at all. This, I'm gonna show you guys a trick. When it doesn't sound like it's quite lining up, what you're gonna do, you're gonna put a delay on it. This actually makes it come sooner. So negative brings it to the left and positive brings it to the right. But it's counterintuitive because you think that minus negative makes it come later, but it doesn't. It makes it happen sooner, and positive makes it come later. So this is like pushing the beat, and this is like laying back. You know, if we're talking about funk and stuff, you know, like that's what it is. So just pull it back a little bit. There you go. See, it's better. Sometimes you need to do, especially with the strings and brass and sample libraries, you're gonna have to do a lot of that stuff. Okay. You know, it's not horrible, guys. Like, you know, like, I mean, like, you know, if it were up to my standards, this is nowhere near finished. But I'm just picking up these post-its because they're getting annoying now. And to make sure to reuse and recycle, so keep these for next time. All right. And then we didn't even end up using it. We might use it later, so who knows. But anyways, for what I'm saying is I definitely hear like this. For me, I'm happy because like I know that this is going somewhere. So even if we don't finish this like now, I know that when I get to work on this and focus on it, like I hear the idea. I just need some time to work it out. So it's, you know, like that's why I'm working it out now, and I'm really taking advantage of the fact that there's nobody watching. But yeah, it's it just needs some time, this one. But the idea, the concept is good. I don't want to add too many parts. I'm really stressing that because I don't, you know, because it's a really, like, what did I say when we were starting, guys? I said minimalist. I wanted to have like minimal because there's going to be more stuff coming. Like this is just like the introduction of the track. So let's just compare with our cue. Reference 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Nice, right? It's coming alive. Of course, with some sound design, you know, would be perfect. You know, how can we make this line up? I'm gonna, because I want to really emphasize, because like you see the editing, when I'm gonna go back and edit the footage to this, obviously I'm gonna like kind of, you know, compact it a little bit more so it does fit, so it falls like right on there. I think this is a good tempo, because you know the tempo is, it can't be too fast, too slow. This is right tempo. So I'm gonna just start it like a little bit later, a little bit sooner. How about that? Like basically one beat sooner. So when you give us a countdown, 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Sorry about that. I'm gonna start it on beat 4. I'm gonna see what happens. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So it's, you know, kind of. But like the beginning was fine. It's something that's gonna have to happen in between, you know? So we're doing the video editor's job too now. We're learning how to do that. And then we have like another, like because I've done tracks like these before. Like I'll actually, and after this, I'll leave some links to some tracks, because like the concept I'm talking about, first of all, the hybrid track and this kind of like tension, suspense, introduction that goes into this rock metal B section. I've done already 2 tracks that use this formula, you know, this recipe. So I'll put those along with the video clips that I made for them in the description after this is posted, so you guys can see what it is that I'm trying to do actually. Like, because basically after this riser and this hit, there's gonna be like another one. Maybe this, I could take this and reverse it, and then, you know, like as the gate is opening, it's like, and then it builds up, you know, and then like we hit the track, you know, we hit the track, and then like, you know, there's kind of like the 16th note arpeggio like sequence thing. Gonna have to look in my synth, so I'm gonna prepare that for next week. So this is definitely gonna be next week. And you know, honestly, if the rest of this live stream is just gonna be dedicated to polishing this up, because we're you know, like it's not bad. Like you guys see with the video, it's not so bad, so bad. So like if we play it again, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, but this time starting on beat 1, it actually lines up pretty well. Look at this, 3, 4, and it starts pretty much where it needs to. 3, 4. That's where I want that to start. The only thing I would add, maybe some crashes, you know, some crashes, some bells, so I might go into those so I might just remove that last frame. You see what I'm talking about? So where it seems like it wants to cut. So it's like he's like here, it goes like that, and then it would cut like here, boom, and there wouldn't be this one. You know, but I'll work it out. I'll work it out. But you see what I'm talking about, starting with the foundation, because this is the foundation. Now I can kind of just have fun with whatever instruments. Like literally, like if this wasn't for a specific project, you know, and this was just a backing track, you know, you just use this as like your 8-bar loop or something. For now, I didn't end up putting this on our tracks pane. Okay, this is the one, so you just mute it, so it's easier with submixes, because like look, you don't hear it now. You can control it a little bit more. Okay. I did say I wanted to add a delay to this. Add an echo, actually. Echoes are cool. Quarter note, but like, there we go. Oh, but we want more feedback. Why isn't it doing the feedback? On the 8th note. See what I'm going with this, guys? It's just like a little bit of a groove, but not too much. It's quarter note, not triplet. I'm surprised they don't have quarter note. But anyways, it's better sometimes to just work with your own thing, you know? Just make your own thing. And I have nothing against presets, guys. Love using presets. Sometimes you gotta get your hands dirty. See? And the reason I like this sound, even though it's like a crash, it kind of sounds like a radio transmission, you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm going for. I'm going for like kind of like, you know, major tom, you know, to ground control kind of thing. Not at all. Like not like that song, but you know what I mean. Like Houston, you know, like when the race drivers they have like those headsets on, they're communicating with their pit crew and stuff. Like, but like he's kind of like distant. He's on his own. He's on the track because the pit crew does come in later. That's when we're introduced to our second main character, the guy who gives them the green light. So this is just kind of like it's breaking up. I can't hear you guys. So it's like. I lost it now. Shouldn't have taken off my post-its. It's F sharp. Remember that for me, guys. It's F sharp. And ironically, the key of this is an F sharp, but it's actually not. Or maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Okay, I like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 2, 3, 4. Leave it there. 4. Okay. Okay. We're getting somewhere. And sometimes because like I'm extremely OCD, I do this fixed note length, and it's just a thing you can do sometimes. It's not only if you're OCD, just to have some continuity. See, if you really want to have control over like the length, because it changes the timbre, especially since we have our delay on now. It's almost you're dialing it in at this point. This thing is still a little bit too... Oh, I didn't even change it. Hold on. But sometimes you're just better going... That's another thing I forget to tell you that. There you go. A bit too short. But it's when you're programming things, everything's the same duration. But when you're doing things, you're performing your parts, you're basically giving your MIDI 2 very important pieces of information. That's perfect. Dynamics and durations. And we don't pay enough attention to durations. Duration is huge for making something sound realistic, Like, I'm gonna maybe go into that more in depth in a video that I'll make, but... See, we're getting the idea now. This is what I feel like it's not loud enough, Maybe it's just me. Okay. Maybe this one's a bit too loud still. It just doesn't feel like conclusive enough to me. It's something to do with the 16th notes. Like, I feel like something should happen, like maybe a fill or something. Like, it just, for me, it feels like it doesn't sound. It's just the transition. I think we're gonna work just a little bit more on that transition, but I want to hear it from the start. It still sounds a little bit too in the foreground, this, to me. That's better. Maybe it's a +1. I know I said I wouldn't mix, guys, but can't help myself. Can't help myself. It's what happens when you do everything. Okay. I did say also maybe some crashes. Like I said, we're going to add a drum kit later, so I might just add it now. Just to see what we can start. All right, I didn't even save. remember to save your project, guys. You know, I actually, like I said, I rehearsed yesterday. So, but it, you know, I think I like this one better. Called it Speed Machine. Speed Machine, you know. Okay. I know that wasn't a good argument, but it's Speed Machine for now. Could always change the name later. See, like there may be some crashes, you know, to do a transition, like whoosh. Sometimes it's all about the fluff, you know. Okay. So like I said, we got about 20 minutes left, I think. Yeah, 15 to be precise. So we're gonna add this drum kit. Might be one of the last things we do. Normally, I think I would just, you know, reserve the end of this for like a little Q&A sesh. But, you know, since there's nobody to ask me any questions, I guess I'll just answer my own questions. You could ask me anything though, guys. It's not just about music. Like, what's the meaning of life? You know, like this is like a half like you know, music composition production workshop, but it's also like, you know, a philosophy class. So we're also going to talk about life here, and you know, just like it's just therapeutical. You know, this is just at the end of, well, it's not the end of your week, but you know, it's just every day could be your end of your week depending how you look at it, or the beginning. So I'm not sure what kind of kit I want to go for this. By the way, this is Steven Slate Drums 4, kind of a dated. Honestly, I've been using this thing since I was 16. First sample library I ever purchased, and you know, I love it. But honestly, I don't hate it, but I want Superior Drummer 3. Like that's what I'm eventually gonna buy. But you know, this just gets the job done for now. So what I want to say is that I'm nothing against these kits, but if you go in the where is it? Deluxe stuff, SSD Classic, there we go. These are like kind of like emulations of kits of, like, you see like All American Rejects, Red Hot Chili Peppers, where else, Steely Dan. So they have like the kits that sound like these bands: Dream Theater, Green Day, I think this is you know, from Highway Star, Deep Purple, I'm not sure. You know, so Pantera, Deftones. I know what, I might just go for one of these. Because I just want the crashes. I want to see if the crashes. It's fine. You guys know about that? You just go like. 16 notes, you know, and you use the dynamics to build it up. We're actually going to use automation to do that because it's easier, you know, if you don't get it right. But I want to do one right over here. So gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. I'm not sure actually where I'm gonna start because I can't. You know what? A lot easier. We could always just fix this all up later, guys. You just have nothing to worry about. Hold on, I lost my place, and I didn't even, hold on. 3, 2, 3. So it's gonna be on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's fine. Because what you're going to do is, I think these are actually 30 seconds. Yep. Doesn't matter. Just get rid of this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's a mess. It's a mess. I don't even know if this is actually 30-second notes. Might be too fast, but I don't think so. I think it's usually that. These are the times in life when you can cheat. I have no idea, guys. I have no idea what I was trying to do. I might just re-record that. It's definitely not 16th notes. Let's put this back. Okay, like for example, I'm trying to quantize just these two. Sometimes it's just weird, this thing. Okay, so we're just gonna do this. You gotta come up with tricks like this. This is just like a technique I use. You know, guys, a technique. A lot of those going on. Okay, then you click A for automation. Selected everything except, well, you could select the last one. But the last one, look, I'm gonna give us a target, and our target is 100. Okay, so this, I'm gonna start at, because you have to take into account when we're gonna have mastering, the compression, everything's gonna be louder. So try this out. Get rid of the, nice, right? But it's too loud, obviously. Hold on. 2, 3. There we go. 3. Maybe this was what we're missing here. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys one last thing I think I have time for, pretty much. That's nice. It's nice. Right there. I think I'm gonna add another one. It's not on the 16 note. It's on the 8th. So I'm gonna. Where was I aiming for this? Where is it the first time? It's not where I was aiming. Guys, can you remind me what I was? Oh wait, nobody's watching. There we go. That helps. Hold on. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That's fine. Okay. So remember the duration for these, and it's not, you don't have to be like a robot and fix it. It just depends on what you're doing, you know. I try not to do this because then people are going to open up my project and be like, so you didn't perform your parts, everything is perfect. And I'll be like, yeah, you know, I did stuff to it. That's why, you know, you guys know. Now there's proof that I actually played this stuff. But this is like nothing, you know. This is just like sound designing, essentially. Okay, let's listen to it now. Not to, I'm not going to have this. I might have a different one here, so hold on. Maybe like some toms. Sorry about that. Not the right kind of kid, but maybe with the crashes. I don't like the sound of the crash, that's why. Just no crash, ideally, you know. Maybe we could have like a filter sweep, like it I know. I'm thinking about it. Okay, what I wanted to show you with the drums might be one of the last things, and you're always going to see me doing this. I go in other, new track with same instrument, and I do that another time. This is basically, I'm not sure what this is considered, but basically these are the same. It's kind of like the MIDI thing, but the other way around. So basically this is all the same MIDI channel, and there's just one instrument that's loaded. The reason I do this is I'll show you guys next time. It'll be easier because we're actually gonna get into some drum programming and stuff with the keyboard, not the mouse and the keyboard, the musical keyboard with your hands. I'll show you guys how to do that, or at least I'll make you hear how I do that, and it'll be fun. So I hope you tune in next week because it'll be a bit better, and it'll be a bit better every week. That I can promise you guys. Maybe some weeks might not be as good as others, but in general, it's gonna get better. More interesting. I'm gonna loosen up a little bit more, and you know, we're gonna have fun. Okay, solid state drive sampler. Sorry, I've had this for too many years. I just had to, you know, come up with a joke. You know, SSD. You know, Steven Slate drums, but I call it SSD for, you know, solid state drive. You know, I'm not a comedian, guys. Just give me a break. Give me a break. Okay, so this is what I do. This is gonna be like basically my left hand, my right hand, and if I do fills and I don't feel like fixing everything up, it's just quicker for me. Technically, I could potentially perform the entire drum part with my. It's possible, you know, like especially with the way this is mapped, it's doable. But you know, just for simplicity's sake, I just keep the kick drum, the snare, and the toms in low, and the high, I put all the cymbals and stuff, hi-hat, whatever. Fills is just gonna be fills. Like this is a fill, okay? Like this I consider a fill or a transition, whatever. And yeah, another thing we might do, since we have some time, is I'm just gonna show you guys. I just gotta take care of this. Give me a second, guys. There we go. There's even this other thing where I gotta change the name, you know. I gotta remember my shortcuts. Shift N. Okay, so we're gonna create a submix for the drum. So now watch. But also what we're gonna do is we're gonna create, because this is a technique, because this is a multi-output instrument. So basically, I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. Most drum sample libraries, or just even Play Engine by East West has a mixer, you know. So you see, these are all going somewhere. Make sure to check that in case you change a sample. Kick goes, for me, goes to mono numero uno. And the way this is laid, like this one's an old instrument, like it's just complicated. Some instruments, it's just very clear cut. It'll actually like have labels for each. Anyways, I'm just gonna show you guys. You just gotta know how your instrument works. But anyways, that's mono 1, okay, output, okay, of this instrument. Snare, I go to mono 2, which is mono 10 in this case. See, there are 3 different mics for the snares. Actually, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 mics for the snares, because there's 2 snare drums. They're layered. That's a technique that they use in rock. You know, they layer different stuff together. The toms, since they're stereo, stereo 1 is your main output, so you want to start putting things on stereo as of stereo 2. So stereo 2 for the toms, because there's panning. Hi-hat, I go stereo, but you could go mono if you pan it, but I mean, it's already panned, so I just leave it on stereo. It really doesn't make a difference. There's just the right amount of outputs to make this work. So all the cymbals I usually put stereo, and to be honest, I never use any of them. I just use overhead and room, because I don't like using too many mics. It's just, you know, even if I had the luxury of having like 12 different microphones, I would just use like 2 or 4 microphones to record drums. I wrote lots of articles on that subject, actually, so check it out, decibelpeak.com. Good stuff. I should actually take some pictures and make some videos of those microphone setups. So if you're interested, leave me a comment, but I will do it at some point. But push me, guys, please. Please push me. Okay, so done. Now you create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there was 8. I forget. Doesn't matter. We might add another one. BD, tab, SD, tab, tom-tom, tab, hi-hat, tab, ride, tab, I think China. I just know this, you know, oh shit. From 16 years of doing this, I mean 10 years. Okay, there was one more. Overhead, and room. Okay. And so yeah, if you have any questions, guys, please, by all means. So yeah, now that's fine the way it is. I actually just take all these down. 5. Okay. And oh, might as well select all of them because I'm going to put these to bus number 1. This is all going to the drum bus. The submix sign channel strip killer. Okay. Noise. That's the drum. Make sure to activate it. The automations and stuff. Okay. And yeah, now we got to route everything. And it's kind of tried to do it automatically. See, instrument 4, there you go. You know, that's SSD sampler. Mono star. See, it's weird. It's the way it's labeled, but this is mono, whatever, 9. But like the first mono output. This is the second mono output, 18. And starting over here, this is your stereo 2. It's just a mess, but it works once you know how it works. Okay. 9 to 10, 11 to 12, 13 to 14, and 15. See the perfect amount of outputs and stuff. No complaints. It's all good. So we're all set up for next week, guys. We're already set up. So let's just listen to this one last time with the video, see how far we got. And I think we're there. So I might work on this section during the week, and I'll let you guys what I come up with next week. And then next week is going to be, like I said, so we're going to be working on the B section. It's going to be the part that is like, you know, rock. It's more going to be rock than metal. It's going to be like a little bit more on the rocky side. So let's just check this out one last time. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Haha. Maybe that could get louder, actually. You understand, guys. You understand, I hope. At least I understand. I'm the one making it, so, you know, at least somebody's got to understand. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this first live stream. You know, it wasn't that bad. I'm not that scared anymore to do them, but I mean, you know, I know what to work on for next week, and you know, it's gonna be cool. You guys are gonna get to see me get better and better, and you know, hopefully I get to see you guys get better and better. And the best way for us to keep in touch is, you know, there's always the comments, there's the chat, but I would really enjoy to have you guys study with me at Decibel Peak Academy. It's an online community that I recently launched, and the first month is free. So basically, you know, you could sign up right now. There's a link in the description, and you just get to try out this platform. You know, this is basically where I'm going to be putting all of my exclusive content, you know, like exclusive live streams, online courses, articles, you know, without ads and stuff. It's just going to be basically my own personal encyclopedia, and it's going to be a community. It's like a social network where you can communicate and interact with other musical entrepreneurs that are on the same journey as we are, which is basically making a career out of music, but doing it in a sense that, you know, where we try to maintain as much of our independence as possible and actually create a business. Like, we treat ourselves as the business if we don't create an entirely separate entity like I did, which is Decibel Peak Productions. But, you know, we'll get into that in other videos, and I talk about it in articles and stuff. So that's not the point of this live stream. But anyways, check out the academy. That's what it's called, Decibel Peak Academy. And you know, and what one of the most valuable features of this academy is that I actually review your tracks. So if you want to post your tracks and get professional feedback on it, that's a really valuable service. And normally you'll pay like lots of money to get actually someone to listen to your music and give you professional feedback and kind of coach you through not only that, but like just give you, coaching and guidance in general throughout your music career, and the business aspect of it. So, like I said, give it a shot. I hope to see you guys there, and I also hope to see you guys in the live stream next week. If you're watching a replay of this, leave me some comments or questions. What I did good, what I did bad, what you guys want to see more of, less of. Maybe I just talked too freaking much. I don't know, man. Just let me know in the comments. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this experience. I certainly did. And we'll be back next week with part 2 of this live TV and film scoring workshop. Have a good night. Sweet dreams. Goodbye. God damn it. I'm still new to this, guys. Hold on. Just trying to put my banner. There we go.